Hey my friends, good morning. So I am at the grocery store. Can you see behind me? I'm at the grocery store to show you how to read labels on your food. So let's go. Follow me or come with me. Okay, we're gonna come in here and come over to the bread section. Okay? I know that you all know that there are nutrition labels on your food. But sometimes we just don't know how to read them right. So I'm going to show you here. Turn my camera around. Oh, maybe I can't do that. Okay. Here are your nutrition labels. Okay. You see calories, total fat, carbohydrates, total carbohydrates, sodium, and protein. The labels that are smaller are actually the ones that you should pay more attention to. Okay, for example, the total fat on here is important. Okay, it's really important. But it's only important when you're counting your macros. So if you've heard that term before, I want you to become familiar with it, but not so familiar that you don't forget to pay attention what's actually in your food and not what your food is made of, okay? Because there is a difference between calories and energy. And so if we are paying attention to the food going in our body, we need to pay more attention to the ingredients that are in our food than the calories that they contribute to our body, right? The energy that they contribute to our body. So I am showing you a loaf of bread, and this is not the type of bread that I buy. It says wheat on it, and it has 3 grams of dietary fiber. It has 20 grams of total carbohydrates. So what you do is you take the 20 grams of total carbohydrates and subtract the dietary fiber from that, and voila, you have your actual carbohydrate, the effect on your blood sugar. The higher the dietary fiber and the higher the protein, the reduced effect it will have on your blood sugar. And so the dietary fiber is really important. This one has 3, so it's pretty good. The one that I love, I don't know if you can get this, but it's called Granny's Delight. Ooh, Granny's Delight wheat bread. And if I'm not making bread at home, this is the bread I like to buy. And this is why. You see the total fat, you see the sodium, the carbohydrates is 18 grams. You also see the dietary fiber has 6 grams and 2 grams of sugar. So that's really, really important to me when eating something that comes in a package, to pay attention to the nutrition facts on there. And then when you're doing that, to pay attention to the ingredients. The ingredients on here are 100% whole wheat flour, oat fiber, wheat bran. Sugar is the 4th ingredient. Now, if you buy bread, or if you buy anything, and you notice that sugar, high fructose corn syrup, anything has sugar listed in the top 3 ingredients, you want to be very wary, okay? Because the top 3 ingredients are what are the main ingredients that your food is made with. So come with me. We're going over to things like condiments. We're going to look at these condiments over here. So we have something like, you pick up a marinade, right? And this marinade right here, it says fat-free. Oh, that should be so good for me, right? Because it has no fat in it. Actually, this one only has 2 grams of sugar. So if it has 4 grams of sugar or less, you know that you're getting a tablespoon or less of sugar in each serving, which is a really low dose and is approved. Sorry, this video is going to be shaky. I wanted to take you over here to the soda and the chips, because that's often the hardest thing to pay attention to when we're at the grocery store, finding something that is good for us, something that we like to snack on, and sometimes we just don't know what we're putting in our bodies. So I'm at a grocery store where actually many of the products are not made with high fructose corn syrup and other genetically modified ingredients, terrible ingredients for you. So I'm going to show you how to read some of these labels, right? We read the bread label. Now this one with crackers, this is some crackers that we love to buy. They have 1 gram of dietary fiber and 22 grams of total carbohydrates. That means this is a carbohydrate, right? This is going to spike my blood sugar. Regardless of how much sugar it has in it, the hormone response in our body needed to maintain homeostasis and maintain adequate blood sugar levels. Your body is going to produce insulin and store that energy as fat, and probably more likely, it will take the fat from this product and whatever other fat you eat. If you tend to eat this with cheese, it's going to take that cheese, it's going to take the fat from that cheese, it's going to take the fat from this cracker, and it's going to store it as fat for you for later energy, because that's the easiest way for your body to store energy. If it doesn't have to convert it, it won't. So now I'm going to leave because there are people behind me. We're coming over here to the ice cream because my daughter's birthday is on Friday, and so she wants chocolatey chip cookie dough. I'm sure that that's something we all enjoy. Unfortunately, when you look at this, you know when you get this, look at that total fat. It's hard to focus. 12 grams of total fat, 8 grams of saturated fat, 27 grams of sugar, including 22 grams of added sugar. Okay, so it is really hard to find processed foods that are going to be healthier for you. So here's another saying or another mantra I want you to develop in your grocery shopping. The closer to its natural state it is, the better it's going to be for you. Okay, so you can say, the closer to nature it is, the better it will be for me. Okay, this is a type of fiber pasta that I love, and actually my kids love it too. When we cook this pasta, it ends up having a number on the glycemic index lower than regular pasta. And we'll talk about we probably won't talk about the glycemic index because it also has errors, just like counting calories, but it has 15 grams of fiber when you cook it. So just like I've talked about before, having more fiber in your food will help reduce your body's response by producing insulin, right? It will minimize the response. This is something else that I love. If you can't find the high fiber pasta, you can find pasta made from chickpeas, and it has 23 grams of protein and 8 grams of fiber. Other pasta that they make, let's see, that was a different one, but most of these have 13 grams of fiber. So the Banza brand, that's really good pasta. Now, something that people don't pay attention to that I want to really kind of use to seal the deal on this is, you've noticed I haven't gone over to the produce. It's because it doesn't have labels on it, unless you're buying it in a package. I'm in the refrigerated section, and I'm going to grab just something that we may think is really good for us, right? Here I have the Faye total. It says 0% fat. That is not what I like to get. I like to get the full fat. because full fat means that it's less processed. And fat is really, really necessary in your body to absorb certain nutrients, certain vitamins and minerals. And the more sugar you have, obviously that's going to cause a higher response. So in this, we have 13 grams of protein in this little thing, so that's pretty good. But we also have 11 grams of sugar. That is a tablespoon of sugar in one little thing of yogurt. And so what we think we may be eating when we may be eating something that is healthy for us is actually maybe preventing us from losing weight, because our body can't stabilize the sugars that we're consuming. It can't stabilize the hormones because of the sugars we're consuming. Now, I'm going to share with you a brand of yogurt that I really like. It's this, called Siggy's, 4% milk fat, which means it has a lot of fat in it. And actually, this little serving only has 4.5 grams of fat, but it only has 5 grams of added sugars in it. The 8 grams of sugars comes from the milk. So if you don't want to do a milk yogurt, you could always do coconut yogurt, which people often do. But that tends to, because it is more processed, tends to have more sugar in it, and I'll show you. This one, coconut milk yogurt. It can be so yummy, but unfortunately it has 18 grams of sugar in this little tiny thing. 18 grams. So 18 grams divided by 4, right? That's 4 teaspoons plus 2 grams of sugar. That's a lot of sugar for your body in one little thing. So all the sugar that you eat during the day adds up. And so you want to pay attention to that sugar. Now, that's just one thing on the ingredients list, right? So that goes into your total carbohydrates. And now fat and protein. Did you know that protein triggers an insulin response, much like sugar does if you eat too much of it? So sometimes people will eat, and I need to find them, the high protein drinks, right? The ones that they sell in Costco in the big boxes. I'll find one over here. And unfortunately, when we eat too much protein, our body will respond by producing more insulin and storing more of whatever fat or whatever sugars we are eating as fat. So I hope that this has been helpful in reading labels. I want you to know that, there's something else. I totally forgot about this. But, you know, if you ever go to the drink section and you see things like these, and you say, oh my goodness, that's so good and it's so healthy for me because it has 100% juice. If you look at this label, you may or may not be able to see it. It has 51 grams of sugar per bottle. You're going to finish this whole thing, right? 51 grams of sugar. So I'm going to show you now the last thing I wanted to look at. I know I'm focusing on sugar a lot, but I think we all know generally that protein builds muscles. And so we don't usually, well, we do. Some people do eat more protein than they need, and not enough carbohydrates, because we think carbohydrates are bad and protein is good. And so we end up eating more protein. And so we still spike our blood sugar. So if you remember that, that drink had 51 grams of sugar in it. This soda has 44 grams of sugar. You are not doing yourself any justice by drinking a juice drink instead of soda. Okay, you are getting just as much, if not more, sugar. Now, there was something else that I wanted to talk about. Oh, so you may come to this, right? You see diet soda. Well, let's see. You see this? It says, diet soda, diet Hanson's. This is so good for me. 0 added sugars, but guess what it has in it? It has aspartame or sucralose. Sucralose is another term for bleached sugar. Okay? It does not have an effect on our blood sugar per se, but the inflammation and the repercussions that it causes far outweigh the damages that sugar does to our bodies. So diet is worse than regular soda. If you're going to drink soda, drink a regular soda, but do not drink a diet soda. That is just a recipe for disaster later on. I promise you, you will suffer from more health problems because of the artificial sweeteners that you drink versus the real sugar. So stay away from fake sugar, right? Stay away from fake. If it's a product that has been flavored to be like a natural flavor, it's probably not going to be the best for you. So because we talk about balance, I want to make sure that you know that it's okay to have these things once in a while, right? But if you are having a soda for lunch, a soda for dinner, and maybe one before you go to bed, probably hurting you. We also learned that the crackers, that the bread and the processed food that we eat, the more fiber and the balance of protein to fiber that it has, is also better for you than your traditional white or even your traditional wheat bread. Those things tend to have just as many added products in them, even if it says wheat bread on it. Okay, and then the third thing is that the food closest to nature is always going to be better for you. I hope that you have enjoyed this. I'm going to share something else with you. You see this? You see things like pea snaps, pea crisps that are like chips, but they're like, it's healthy because it's made out of peas. Look at the ingredients list. Look at the ingredients. I know you can't read it, but there's a lot of ingredients in there. And it's probably a sign that the more ingredients you're looking at, okay, versus this. Here are these. And look at the ingredients list. Look at that. It only has 1, 2, 3, 4 ingredients in it. That's awesome. Okay, so the fewer ingredients usually means the closer to nature, the better off it's going to be for you. I'm going to share one more thing with you. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm looking at the chocolate. It's okay to have chocolate. Chocolate, actually dark chocolate, has more fiber per ounce than milk chocolate, and it's got some good flavonols and good antioxidants in it. So anyway, this has been a long video. Take this with you to the grocery store. Look at the labels. Look at the ingredients. Pay attention to the ingredients more than you pay attention to the nutrition facts, and don't pay attention to the calories. I just want you to see what you're eating and balance it out. Balance the natural foods out with the processed foods that you eat, so that you take care of your body and you have a balanced, healthier lifestyle. I'll catch you on the next video. Make it a great day. Bye.